आइए फ्रेंड्स, हम लोग चैप्टर नंबर 8 इमर्जिंग टेक्नोलॉजीज़ के बारे में स्टडी करते हैं, उसका रिवीजन करते हैं। ठीक है, क्या कहता है क्लाउड कंप्यूटिंग? क्लाउड कंप्यूटिंग सिंपली मीन्स द यूज़ ऑफ कंप्यूटिंग रिसोर्सेज एज अ सर्विस through networks, typically the internet. Cloud computing is both a combination of software and hardware based computing resources delivered as a network service. ठीक है, this model of IT enabled service enables anytime access to a shared pool of applications and resources. With cloud computing, companies can scale up to massive capacities in an instant without having to invest in new infrastructure, train new personnel, or license new software. Cloud computing is of benefit to small and medium-sized business systems who wish to completely outsource their data center infrastructure, or large companies who wish to get peak load capacity without incurring the higher cost of building larger data centers internally. In both the instances, service consumers use what they need on the internet and pay only for what they use. क्लाउड कंप्यूटिंग और ग्रिड कंप्यूटिंग में डिफरेंसेस देखिए क्या है, क्लाउड कंप्यूटिंग वर्सेस ग्रिड कंप्यूटिंग. सम पर्टिनेंट सिमिलैरिटीज एंड डिफरेंसेस आर क्लाउड कंप्यूटिंग एंड ग्रिड कंप्यूटिंग बोथ आर स्केलेबल. Both computing types involve multi-tenancy and multitasking, meaning that many customers can perform different tasks accessing a single or multiple application instances. While the storage computing in the grid is well suited for data intensive storage, it is not economically suited for storing objects as small as 1 byte. In a data grid, the amounts of distributed data must be large for maximum benefit, while in cloud computing, we can store an object as low as 1 byte and as large as 5 GB or even several terabytes. A computational grid focuses on computationally intensive operations, while cloud computing offers two types of instances, standard and high CPU. Goals of cloud computing. The core goal of utilizing a cloud-based IT ecosystem is to pool available resources together into a highly efficient infrastructure whose costs are aligned with what resources are actually used, to make the services accessible and available from anywhere at any time. Cloud computing architecture क्या है? The cloud computing architecture (CCA) of a cloud solution is the structure of the system which comprises of on-premise and cloud resources, service middleware and software components, their geolocation, their externally visible properties and relationship between them. Cloud architecture typically involves multiple cloud components communicating with each other over a loose coupling mechanism such as a messaging queue. ठीक है, clients, user interface, machine interface, application, component, services, platform, compute, network, storage, infrastructure, servers. ओके, क्लाउड कंप्यूटिंग आर्किटेक्चर जो है उसका बताया गया. फिर क्या कहता है क्लाउड कंप्यूटिंग इन्वायरमेंट डिप्लॉयमेंट मॉडल्स क्या क्या है? द क्लाउड कंप्यूटिंग इन्वायरमेंट कैन कंसिस्ट ऑफ मल्टीपल टाइप्स ऑफ क्लाउड्स बेस्ड ऑन देयर डिप्लॉयमेंट एंड यूसेस. दीज आर पब्लिक क्लाउड, प्राइवेट क्लाउड, हाइब्रिड क्लाउड, कम्युनिटी क्लाउड. ये है जो है, ठीक है. तो आपको देखते हैं, स्टार्ट करते हैं पब्लिक क्लाउड से. पब्लिक क्लाउड क्या है? द एनवायरमेंट कैन बी यूज्ड बाय द जनरल पब्लिक. दिस इंक्लूड्स इंडिविजुअल्स, कॉर्पोरेशंस एंड other types of organization. Typically, public clouds are administrated by third parties or vendors over the internet, and the services are offered on pay-per-use basis. These are also called provider clouds. Business models like SaaS, software as a service, and public clouds complement each other and enable companies to leverage shared IT resources and services. Private clouds. This cloud computing environment resides within the boundaries of an organization and is used exclusively for the organization's benefit. These are also called internal clouds. They are built primarily by IT departments within enterprises who seek to optimize utilization of infrastructure resources within the enterprise by provisioning the infrastructure with applications using the concepts of grid and virtualization. Private clouds can either be private to the organization and managed by the single organization. One on-premise private cloud, or can be managed by third-party outsourced private cloud. Okay. Hybrid clouds क्या होते हैं? This is a combination of both at least one private internal and at least one public external cloud computing environments, usually consisting of infrastructure, platforms, and applications. It is typically offered in either of two ways. A vendor has a private cloud and forms a partnership with a public cloud provider, or a public cloud provider forms a partnership franchisee with a vendor that provides private cloud platforms. ठीक है जी. उसके बाद आगे चलते हैं हम लोग. क्या कहता है कम्युनिटी क्लाउड्स? कम्युनिटी क्लाउड्स क्या होता है? द कम्युनिटी क्लाउड इज द क्लाउड इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर दैट इज प्रोविजन्ड फॉर एक्सक्लूसिव यूज बाय अ स्पेसिफिक कम्युनिटी ऑफ कंज्यूमर्स फ्रॉम ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस दैट हैव शेयर्ड कंसर्न्स. एग्जांपल, mission security requirements, policy and compliance requirements, considerations. फिर उसके बाद it may be owned, managed and operated by one or more of the organizations in the community, a third party, or some combination of them, and it may exist on or off premises. In this private cloud is shared between several organizations. ठीक है जी. अगला देखते हैं हम लोग क्लाउड कंप्यूटिंग सर्विस मॉडल्स क्या क्या हैं. दीज आर एज फॉलोज. पहला, ए, infrastructure as a service. Infrastructure as a service providers offer computers, more often virtual machines, and other resources as service. It provides the infrastructure storage required to host the service ourselves, that is, makes us to the system administrator and manage hardware, storage, network, and computing resources. The different instances of IaaS are as follows. अब इसमें देखिएगा क्या है. नेटवर्क एज अ सर्विस. नेटवर्क एज अ सर्विस, इट इज़ अ कैटेगरी ऑफ क्लाउड सर्विसेज where the capability provided to the cloud service user is to use network transport connecting services. NAS involves optimization of resources allocation by considering network and computing resources as a whole. अब इसमें भी देखिएगा स्टोरेज एज ए सर्विस, डेटाबेस एज ए सर्विस, बैकएंड एज ए सर्विस, डेस्कटॉप एज ए सर्विस. तो देखिएगा स्टोरेज एज ए सर्विस, एस्टास an instance of IaaS provides storage infrastructure on a subscription basis to users who want a low cost and convenient way to store data, synchronize data across multiple devices, manage offsite backups, mitigate risks of disaster recovery, and preserve records for the long term. Okay. Database as a service, DBaaS क्या है? This is also related to IaaS and provides users with seamless mechanisms to create, store, and access databases at a host site on demand. Okay. Backend as a service, BaaS. It is a type of IaaS that provides web and mobile app developers a way to connect their applications to backend cloud storage with added services such as user management, push notifications, social network services, integration using custom software, development kits, and application programming interfaces. Desktop as a service, DTaaS. It is an instance of IaaS that provides ability to the end users to use desktop virtualization without buying and managing their own infrastructure. Okay. आगे चलते हम लोग. क्या कहता है प्लेटफॉर्म एज ए सर्विस, पास. PaaS provides the users the ability to develop and deploy an application on the development platform provided by the service provider. Okay. Cloud providers deliver a computing platform including operating system, programming language, execution environment, database, and web servers. For example, Google App Engine, Windows Azure Compute, etc. Okay. हम लोग आगे देखते हैं. आगे क्या कहता है सॉफ्टवेयर एज ए सर्विस. सॉफ्टवेयर एज ए सर्विस, SaaS. क्या कहता है? SaaS provides users to access large variety of applications over internet that are hosted on service providers infrastructure. Thus, the end users are exempted from managing or controlling an application, the development platform, and the underlying infrastructure. SaaS changes that the way the software is delivered to the customers. अब SaaS में देखिएगा क्या है. टेस्टिंग एज ए सर्विस, API एज ए सर्विस, ईमेल एज ए सर्विस, सास में देखिएगा। अब देखिएगा टेस्टिंग एज ए सर्विस, दिस प्रोवाइड्स यूजर्स विद सॉफ्टवेयर टेस्टिंग कैपेबिलिटीज सच एज जनरेशन ऑफ टेस्ट डेटा, जनरेशन ऑफ टेस्ट केसेस, execution of test cases and test result evaluation on pay-per-use basis. Okay, API as a service, API as, okay, this allows users to explore functionality of web services such as Google Maps, payroll processing and credit card processing, etc., processing services, etc. Okay, email as a service, EAS. This provides users with an integrated systems of emailing, office automation, records management, mitigation and integration services with achieving spam blocking, malware protection and compliance features. Okay. अब अदर क्लाउड सर्विस मॉडल्स में देखिएगा क्या है, कम्युनिकेशन एज ए सर्विस, डेटा एज ए सर्विस, सिक्योरिटी एज ए सर्विस, आइडेंटिटी एज ए सर्विस। अब इसमें भी देखिएगा कम्युनिकेशन एज ए सर्विस क्या होता है। कम्युनिकेशन एज ए सर्विस, communication as a service has evolved in the same line as SaaS. Okay, CaaS is an outsourced enterprise communication solution that can be leased from a single vendor. The CaaS vendor is responsible for all hardware and software management and offers guaranteed quality of service. ठीक है, क्वालिटी ऑफ सर्विस। इट अलाउज बिजनेसेस टू सेलेक्टिवली डिप्लॉय कम्युनिकेशन डिवाइसेस एंड मोड्स ऑन पे एज यू गो as needed basis. This approach eliminates large capital investments. Data as a service, data as a service provides DaaS. DaaS provides data on demand to diverse set of users, systems or application. This data may include text, images, sounds and videos. Data encryption and operating system authentication are commonly provided for security. Security as a service, CaaS. Okay, it is an ability given to the end user to access the security service provided by the service provider on a pay-per-use basis. It is a new approach to security in which cloud security is moved into the cloud itself, whereby cloud service users will be protected from within the cloud using a unified approach to threats. Identity as a service, identity as a service, IDaaS. It is an ability given to the end users, typically an organization or enterprise, to access the authentication infrastructure that is built, hosted, managed and provided by the third party service provider. Okay, characteristics of cloud computing क्या है? Major characteristics are high scalability, agility, high availability and reliability, multi-sharing services in pay-per-use mode, virtualization, performance and maintenance. Okay, फिर आगे हम लोग देखते हैं एडवांटेजेस ऑफ क्लाउड कंप्यूटिंग। मेजर एडवांटेजेस ऑफ क्लाउड कंप्यूटिंग आर कॉस्ट एफिशिएंसी, ऑलमोस्ट अनलिमिटेड स्टोरेज, बैकअप एंड रिकवरी, ऑटोमेटिक सॉफ्टवेयर इंटीग्रेशन, इजी एक्सेस टू इंफॉर्मेशन एंड क्विक डिप्लॉयमेंट। ओके, चैलेंजेस टू क्लाउड कंप्यूटिंग क्या है? मेजर चैलेंजेस आर confidentiality, integrity, availability, governance, trust, legal issues and compliance, privacy, audit, data stealing, architecture, identity management and access control, incident response, software isolation and application security. Mobile computing, it refers to the technology that allows transmission of data via a computer without having to be connected to a fixed physical link. Mobile data communication has become a very important and rapidly evolving technology as it allows users to transmit data from remote locations to other remote or fixed locations. This proves to be solution for the biggest problem of business people on the move, that is mobility. Various companies design and develop several wireless applications and solutions for BlackBerry, iPhone, Google Android, G1, iPad, Windows Mobile, Symbian, Braille devices, PDA, Palm and Pocket PC. Mobile computing services allow mobile workforces to access a full range of corporate services and information from anywhere at any time and improves the productivity of a mobile workforce by connecting them to corporate information systems and by automating paper-based processes. BYOD, bring your own device. ठीक है, इसके बारे में देखते हैं हम लोग। BYOD refers to the business policy that allows employees to use their preferred computing devices like smartphones and laptops for business purposes. It means employees are welcome to use personal devices, laptops, smartphones, tablets, etc. to connect to the corporate network to access information and application. अच्छा, अब आगे आ जाइए 12 नंबर पॉइंट में क्या है, इमर्जिंग बिंग BYOD थ्रेट्स. ओवरऑल दीज कैन बी क्लासिफाइड इनटू 4 एरियाज एज आउटलाइंड बिलो. नेटवर्क रिस्क, डिवाइस रिस्क, एप्लीकेशन रिस्क, उसके बाद इम्प्लीमेंटेशन रिस्क. ओके जी, तो इसमें हम लोग देखते हैं क्या कहता है. Network risk. It is normally exemplified and hidden in lack of device visibility when company owned devices are used by all employees within an organization. The organization's IT practices has complete visibility of the devices connected to the network, as BYOD permits employees to carry their own devices, smartphones, laptops for business use. The IT practice team is unaware about the number of devices being connected to the network. Device risk में देखिएगा, it is normally exemplified and hidden in loss of devices. A lost or stolen device can result in an enormous financial and reputational embarrassment to an organization, as the device may hold sensitive corporate information. उसके बाद देखते हैं एप्लीकेशन रिस्क क्या कहता है. इट इज़ नॉर्मली एग्जाम्प्लीफाइड एंड हिडन इन एप्लीकेशन वर्सेज viruses and malware. A related report revealed that a majority of employees' phones and smart devices that were connected to the corporate network weren't protected by security software. उसके बाद आ जाते हैं इम्प्लीमेंटेशन रिस्क. इस इम्प्लीमेंटेशन रिस्क में क्या कहता है, इट इज नॉर्मली एग्जाम्प्लीफाइड एंड हिडन इन वीक BYOD policy. The effective implementation of the BYOD program should not only cover the technical issues mentioned above but also mandate the development of robust implementation policy. उसके बाद आ जाइए सोशल मीडिया. सोशल मीडिया में क्या कहता है, a social network is usually created by a group of individuals who have a set of common interests and objectives. There are usually a set of network formulators followed by a broadcast to achieve the network membership. This happens both in public and private groups depending upon the confidentiality of the network. Web 2.0. 2.0 क्या है, Web 2.0 is the term given to describe a second generation of the World Wide Web that is focused on the ability for people to collaborate and share information online. Web 2.0 basically refers to the transition from static HTML web pages to a more dynamic web that is more organized and is based on serving web applications to users. Components of Web 2.0 for social networks. Major components that have been considered in Web 2.0 include the following communities: RSS generated syndication, blogging, wikis, uses of Ajax and other new technologies, Foxonomy, file sharing, podcasting and mashups. वेब 3.0 क्या कहता है, वेब 3.0 कहता है, वेब 3.0 स्टैंडर्ड यूजेस सिमेंटिक वेब टेक्नोलॉजी, ड्रैग एंड ड्रॉप, मैशअप्स, widgets, user behavior, user engagement and consolidation of dynamic web contents depending on the interest of the individual's users. Web 3.0 technology uses the data web technology, which features the data records that are publishable and reusable on the web through queryable formats. The Web 3.0 standard also incorporates the latest researchers in the field of artificial intelligence. An example of typical Web 3.0 application is the one that uses content management systems along with artificial intelligence. Green IT क्या है डियर? Green IT refers to the study and practice of establishing using computer and IT resources in a more efficient and environmentally friendly and responsible way. Green computing is the environmentally responsible use of computers and related resources. It is largely taken as the study and practice of designing, manufacturing, using and disposing of computers, servers, associated subsystems and peripheral devices efficiently and effectively with highly mitigated negative impact on the environment. The goals of green computing are similar to green chemistry: reduce the use of hazardous materials, maximize energy energy efficiency during the product's lifetime and promote the recyclability or biodegradability of defunct products and factory waste. Many corporate IT departments have green computing initiatives to reduce the environmental impacts of their IT operations, and things are evolving slowly but not as revolutionary phenomenon. ठीक है, आप लोगों को मैं आशा करता हूँ ये चैप्टर थोड़ा सा रिवाइज हो गया होगा, फिर भी आप उसको बार बार सुने, डबल स्पीड से सुने, जिससे कि आप 10 मिनट में कंप्लीट कर पाएँ. ओके, थैंक यू.